Many are facing rough times right now, whether it's a virus, the economy, or political issues, which caused a lot of important issues to be stored away into the darkness. Issues like plastic pollution. Did you know that by 2050, ocean plastics are expected to outweigh fish? Plastic is everywhere. It's in our air, in our soil, in our food, and it's slowly accumulating in our bodies to an effect we don't even fully understand. But you ask, how is this relevant to the pandemic? Surely all this time in social distancing and self-isolation has benefited our fight against plastic pollution. Well, sadly, it's made matters worse. Essential components to control the spread of COVID-19 have been facial masks and hand sanitizers, both of which use a variety of plastics for production. Face masks most commonly contain a plastic called polypropylene, PP for short, for protection against viral fluid droplets in the air. And since April, many cities around the globe have experienced a surge in takeout food. Cities like London and Hong Kong reported a 200% increase from last year. And this naturally means that there was a surge in single-use plastic consumption, which is very harmful to the environment. What's more devastating is the gravitation towards single-use products by consumers in an attempt to be more hygienic, a trend that waste researchers say has been observed throughout similar pandemics in the past, and even things like the swine flu. But you might say, Sada, what about plastic recycling? I've been sorting out all these different containers into different bins in my house, and a truck comes every once in a while and picks them up to recycle them and make new products. Surely I'm helping the fight against plastic pollution, right? Well, I'm gonna need you to take a seat, because I'm about to tell you some really awful news. Plastic recycling is a lie. Sort of. Most plastics won't or can't be recycled, simply because it's not economically viable. In the US, it's been reported that less than 10% of all plastic produced in the past 40 years has been recycled. In the EU, because of legislation passed by the European Environmental Agency, they've been able to recycle 30% of their yearly plastic waste, which is still really bad. We've been lied to. Since the 1970s, oil and gas companies all around the world have paid millions of dollars to sell us the idea of recycling and its effectivity, coercing our governments to lift bans and convincing us to keep buying it. In the US, one of the industry giants and a US official confessed of this. Quoting him, he said, "The plastic industry was under fire. If the public thinks the recycling is working, then they're not going to be as concerned about the environment." Larry Thomas. So this question naturally arises. Why don't we switch to glass or metal? They're infinitely recyclable. While that may largely be true, there are 3 reasons why plastic remains used today. Global transportation costs. It's lighter than most materials. Risk and safety. Plastic is highly unsusceptible to breakage, which means that customers can trust that the product won't break and they will have consistent quality. 3, profit. Because it's lighter and there's more consistency, it means that companies can earn more money on their products if they use plastic instead of glass that shatters or metal that's heavier. These reasons combined make it very economically viable and efficient and profitable, which is what really drives anything in this world. But we can still replace the use of plastic in many industries. For example, in beverages, we can still use aluminum. It's a good candidate. It's light, it's consistent, and it's profitable. The only advantage for plastic in the beverage industry is the fact that it tends to come in bottles that are reusable, and aluminum tends to come in cans that aren't. However, we can manufacture aluminum bottles which have the potential to create a perfectly circular economy which is profitable for companies and environmentally friendly. The only trick here is to keep reusing the aluminum that we've already produced and not produce any more new virgin aluminum, aluminum that would require mining activities and electricity and smelting, things that would create a much larger carbon footprint than that of plastic. Some of you out there might not be convinced, or might say things like, oh, take some time until aluminum is as cheap as plastic, or for companies to lower their prices if they adapt to this new system, and I don't want to be the person who's paying for it, because I want to hoard all my money and save it until retirement so I could go scuba with my buddies whenever I want. Hashtag, frankly my dear, I don't give a damn, hashtag plastic for life. Well boy, I have some bad news for you, because some of the chemicals used to produce plastic have been linked to heart problems, brain disorders, and even cancer. So what can we do in the fight against plastic pollution? Currently, I would urge you to lessen the amount of takeout that you're getting during the pandemic, or try and use your own containers when possible. Another thing is being responsible with plastic. Have a really big sturdy bag that you reuse whenever you go grocery shopping. Support initiatives like the Milkman scheme from companies like Pepsi and Tide, where you bring in an empty container and refill it with the same product. Another thing is supporting products that aim for a recyclable economy. Products like buying cans instead of bottles for sodas or sparkling water. And most importantly, spread the message throughout your community that plastic pollution is getting worse during the pandemic. All the references can be found in the description below, and thank you for watching.